Working in 2016 Excel, I'm talking about creating a templates. We have a spreadsheet already created. We have a formula in here. We're adding things up. We're doing an expense report. We're going to be using it consistently in my organization. What I want to do, three things. One is talking about cleaning it up, protecting the sheet, saving the template. The last thing, if you have to get rid of one, okay? What is yellow will be filled out by the user. What I want to do initially here, I want to get rid of the data here. They're going to be filling this in, okay? And it'll put the numbers here. If you type in, you get that in there, the name it goes to, and you want to type in today's date. So the first thing we want to do, we want to protect things in here. So I'm just going to go on to the review tab here. We want to click on protect sheet. I say protect sheet here, and then what it is, you could put a password in. I don't do this in this example. Make sure you remember it, write it down, have a note on there. Otherwise, you're doomed. You cannot unjam it, okay? You can't get a password hint from the internet. First thing I want to do though, these are the only ones that will be filled in. I highlight these cells. I right click inside here. I go into format cells. And I click on the protection tab here. By default, they're locked, but we haven't protected the sheet. So I'm going to say OK. So I'm going to remove that shading in here. We don't want that in there when we're done. I click on home and I click inside the yellow paint bucket here and I say no fill. This is what we want it to look like. And what I want to do, so people don't go and change words in here, I'm going to protect this sheet. I am on the review tab. I'm going to say protect sheet. And what it is here, you can check off different things here. They can do some things here. You can add a lot here. I'm keeping this very simple. A lot of these things you can kind of figure out what you're doing. And I'm just going to say OK. So if I go into here, it's locked. However, if I go into here, that is a good thing. I'm going to delete these three things here. If you have to edit again, you can always unprotect the sheet. So what it is, I've got this thing in here. This is an expense report Excel file. I'm going to save it as a template. I'm going to click on File, Save As. It shows that there. It's protected. You can unprotect. This is version 2016 Office 365. It should work the same in earlier versions with some modifications. I click on Save As. I go into the drop down arrow here and then I'm going to find Excel template, XLTX. I click on that. This is the expense report. I say save. Very good. I'm going to close out of this sheet here. I click on File. I click on New. And then I click inside Personal. It shows a whole bunch of other ones that I have here. But this is the expense report. And what it is, I could say date. And then I could type in the numbers. So I've got the numbers in there. Reimbursement to the boss. You'd have the name in here. So this is done. If you need to edit the template, you go back into the original Excel file, edit, save as, replace it. You might decide you want commas and stuff. So it goes in here. It says expense report 1. You could save the file. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to save this. Don't save. Let's say I don't need that template. Okay, we change the name of the company or whatever. I'm going to go and open up a blank document, Control N. And what I'm going to do, I don't need that template. And I will click on File. I'm going to click on Save As. This is a little tricky. There's a lot of ways of doing this. I can click on Excel template here. It shows a list here. What I'm going to do now, I can't right click and delete it. the way we could with earlier versions. Sometimes Microsoft makes things more complicated. I'm going to click on more options. It's showing the folder that it's in. I have that expense report here. I don't want it. All I do is right click on it. I delete that guy. I could right click inside here, delete that if I want. I'm going to leave that there for now. And I hit the cancel. So what it is, I go into File, New, and I go into Personal. It's not showing the expense report template. Pretty simple. You can do all your advanced formatting. One comment that I will add is that you may go through several versions of the template before it's done, because you will always think of future things to add to it. Secondly, if you are doing this for a group of people on a dozen people in your office, you could just put that file on a flash drive or email it to them, open it, and they could do a save as a template. So it's typically stored on their hard drive. In some networks, it might go into a master directory in the network.